What's up, traders? Today is May the 22nd, 2021. That puts us 11 years after the Bitcoin Pizza Day, where the BitcoinTalk user Laslow purchased 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin, which would be worth a lot now. A lot of people wonder what would happen if he had held on to that, but I think it was important that he did that because that actually catapulted Bitcoin into people's consciousness as a money, and here we are today. So I'm at a pizza gathering here in Atlanta and doing some interviews for what people think, people that have been in crypto for a long time, people that are brand new. So hopefully we can all learn something. All right, let's see. And I'm starting. What's up, man?
Pretty good. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me do the interview thing. What's your name, if you want to give?
I'm Gil Mota. Have been messing up with Bitcoins since 2014.
Wow.
Right.
And when I met you a long time ago, you were an avid miner.
Yes, actually, when you met me, I was having a lot of problems with my facility. I was in the process of shutting that business. Also because.
And what were you doing?
I had 6,000 miners in my building, right? And the other thing is I didn't know at the time. My overhead was too high, and when the Bitcoin took a nosedive, I could not sustain my operating costs. So it was the time when Bitcoin was trading at 10K, and it dropped to 4K, and which was my break even, and then it started trading at 3,500. At that point, as a business guy, you have to make the decision. You put your capital back in to keep the operations going, or you close the doors.
So you hadn't made that decision based on what you knew at the time.
And I made that decision, and because I didn't know when the market was going to recover. And in fact, it took 2 years because that was in 2018.
What if you had kept on mining all that time?
Well, and that I think I did the math. At the levels that I was, I would be around $7 to $8 million. But it's hard to predict.
You didn't know, yeah.
No, I didn't know.
So on the topic here, what were you doing on May the 22nd, 2010, the pizza day? Like, do you remember what you were doing that time?
Yes, I do.
Did you know about Bitcoin?
No, I didn't. The first time I became aware of Bitcoin was when it hit the news for $1,000.
Wow, yeah, okay.
And then $1,000 went back to 200, and I still didn't believe in it.
That's a big drawdown. That's about 80%, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? That was, I think, was that the first time it...
No, the first time it spiked up to about in the 20s. Ooh, $20. And then it came all the way down to probably about $4 or $5. That was back in 2010 or 11, yeah.
Right.
So this is not the first time today. That's what I keep telling people. So
I mean, technology.
What do you think about it now?
Well, it's amazing, right? Because we still don't know where it's going to go. It could go up or it could go down. But I'm a bullish guy, so I think it's going to go up. I believe it has the potential to get to 100K, but once it hits that point, I don't know because I don't know. It's hard to tell what the government is going to do, and it also now you have people like Elon Musk. They tweet things and
he definitely kind of drove this, didn't he?
He's manipulating. I see that as a market manipulation, but there's no consequences. The SEC doesn't do anything, right? We don't have an SEC for Bitcoin, so people can do things. Because
should we have an SEC for Bitcoin?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that you have to be careful because people like Elon, they can just tweet something and the market could turn around.
True that.
Like when he did Doge, he tweeted Doge. Let me tell you a funny story. I started mining on GPUs in my house. I sold a car, and people said, "Dude, you're crazy, selling a car to buy computers to mine? What?"
Hey, that's an interesting investment.
What is this? What is this, Gil? Are you insane?
Did it pay off?
It did.
There you go.
Like 20 200 times.
So what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm putting my mining facility back together with around 3 megawatts, but so I'm saying 2.5 because you have some losses in the process. But the transformer is for 3 megawatts. So I'm going to be putting a 2.5 megawatts facility to host around 25 to 2,800 S9s or S17 miners from Bitmain. And then I'm going to start expanding again. I want to get back to the levels I was in 2018, with the difference that now I'm telling my investors that we need to go solar. So I put a business plan together because for the next time it goes down, I want to have a sustainable business to keep us going.
Yes.
And I didn't have that. That was my mistake, because I couldn't keep my miners running and pay power. But I have, in parallel, I have an opportunity to sell solar energy to Georgia Power. So I'm going to sell solar energy to Georgia Power
And
here,
offset your costs. Okay.
and I'm going to consume from another company below what Georgia Power is paying. You know, so I will have, just in solar alone, I will already have a profit.
Awesome.
You know, and then I started mining chia just recently. I believe in chia. I spent already 20K in the last week putting the setup together. I have some servers. What do you think about chia?
Well, I don't know anything about it, but I've got limited battery power,
right,
so
very well.
let me talk to my. Thanks, Gil.
All right, thank you.
All right,
man.
take care, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, come tell you a story, man. Oh, is this your drink? Gil. Is this yours? Oh, there you go. Who's it? Oh, that's your water. Okay, can I have some? I need some of that. Thank you. All right.
How's it going, man?
I probably need to get myself another beer in between. What's going on, man? What's the name you want to give?
So, my name is Anthony.
Anthony, what's up?
Yeah, so...
We were talking a little bit earlier. So where were you in 2010, March the 22nd, 2010, the pizza day?
Yeah, the pizza day, I don't think I even knew about Bitcoin back
When did you,
then.
okay, then when did you know about Bitcoin?
I knew about Bitcoin, I want to say 2011, maybe late 2011, early 2012. And I found out about it. I heard Max Kaiser on a podcast on radio. And he was talking about Bitcoin. You can buy one Bitcoin for $1.
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare story for me because I was about to buy 500 Bitcoin.
Yeah, what happened?
$1 a piece. I got on Mt. Gox, and I got all the way to the point where I was going to buy my 500 Bitcoin for $500. And they said I had to wire money to a bank in Japan. And then that bank was going to send me my Bitcoin once they received their money 2 days later. I was like, that sounds kind of shady. Ultimately, Mt. Gox was shady. It collapsed. So who knows what quagmire I would have been in if I had, actually made that transaction. But I'm here now.
What are your price thoughts now? Or what are your thoughts now on Bitcoin? You bullish or bearish?
Very bullish.
Very bullish, okay.
Yeah, we're probably going to go into a bear market in a few months. This is the end of 2021. However, I think probably the next 5 years we're going to go to $500,000 Bitcoin.
$500,000, okay.
Yeah, within the next 5 or 6 years.
Well,
definitely within this decade.
When I saw you earlier, I talked about how last year you came to one of these meetups and you asked me when I was talking about the price, so is it going to get to 50K before the end of 2020?
Right.
That was your projection. You're off by maybe about 2 months.
Off by 2. I'll take that though.
Yeah, but that was when it was definitely on the way up. I thought a lot of people were interested in it, but not nearly as many as have gotten into it the last few months, I would say. When the price gets really high, people get really excited.
I'm excited to see all the excitement, and not just because it's money. I think it is going to be the new money technology. Definitely gold. So it's going to be money when reserve banks start holding it, and that's when we're going to see $500,000 ranges and into the $1 million ranges. I think in the next 5 years, probably starting in the Caribbean, going into Africa, spanning out into Pacific Island, Asia, and then going all into Asia and Japan, you're going to see banks, reserve banks, nation banks just pick it up left and right. And that's when we're going to see like astronomical rise of Bitcoin. That's when it's going to be cash.
So you would say right now is at I think 38K is what? Is that a buying opportunity?
In my opinion, if you're here for the next 10 years, fuck yes.
Okay.
You know?
So a 10-year horizon, a decade horizon is a buying opportunity. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Because and so that's based on like the history of it, right?
That's based
and
on
the
the
future.
history. Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, charts don't lie. I was here in 2016. I saw the 2017 rise. I saw the 2017 fall, and I went back in the timeline. And there's a cycle. It's a repeat cycle.
Yes.
We're in a repeat every 4 years. The same cycle every 4 years. I think that's going to continue for about 2 more reps, and then it's going to get worldwide adoption and kind of industry standard. And then you won't have PayPal. You'll have your BitPay. You know? So
BitPay's been around for a long time. Yeah. So
it's going to join in.
Do you think people are going to use Bitcoin for buying stuff, or are they going to use some other coin?
They're not going to use Bitcoin for buying stuff.
Okay, so what will be your pick?
It's going to be digital gold, and that's the thing I love about Bitcoin. It has a lot of clones in the world.
Wait, what's digital gold? Is that another cryptocurrency?
No, Bitcoin is digital gold.
Okay, so what do you think people are going to use to actually transact?
That's tough.
Yeah.
To actually transact, I believe it's going to be some Ethereum derivative. Yeah, I can't predict that right now.
You think Ethereum is the thing, right?
It could be Elrond. It could be some layer 2 solution on Ethereum. Could be Lightning Network on Bitcoin. So it's definitely not going to be Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're too slow, and they're early technology adaptations. So as a technologist, I know it's like we're not using AOL right now.
That's true.
We're not
Things
using
change. Yeah.
Earthlink right now. Those were the big dogs back in the day, but time changes, technology changes.
So how do you pick the next one? That's the question, isn't it?
Crap stable.
Ah.
Good luck.
Well, maybe you should just diversify in things. So what are the currencies that you're watching right now?
Cardano, Polkadot. Those are all Ethereum rivals, and they've got great chances. And I'm not just looking at a money replacement because I think they're trying to be cash replacements, but I'm heavily into the ideology of cryptocurrency. So I've got a startup called Thinkers based on different crypto projects that you can get into. Right now we're trying to merge social media, journalism, and cryptocurrency together. There's so many DeFi projects out there too. People can now do banking on cryptocurrency. People can do loans on cryptocurrency. They can lend out to a liquidity pool, gain interest on their loans, take it out in a month, 5 months, 6 months if they want. It's pretty much replacing the financial system as we know it. The stock market, I think, is going to all go digital.
Really?
It's all going to be
well, I mean,
cryptocurrency.
it is technically digital. I mean, you log in and you trade, but you're saying that the settlement would be in some kind of a
gonna be on the
cryptocurrency.
blockchain of some manner.
Okay, it's a settlement on the blockchain. Interesting, yeah. Well, through smart contracts of some sort, yeah.
It just makes sense. It's just business savvy.
So that's the future, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're looking at the future right now. We're seeing history in the making.
Well, cool. Thanks for your thoughts.
Thank you.
All right. I talk about stuff I want to talk about, stuff that's meaningful. A lot of the channels will get on there and they'll yell and scream about, Bitcoin and stuff like that, or all these other little alt currencies and whatever's hot right then. I don't think you make any money following what everybody's yelling about. So I focus on trading, like price action, technical analysis. I do podcasts where I just talk like this. I just do what I think is important. I like to do. So I'm not trying to be a professional YouTuber. At the end of the day, I'm a professional trader and investor. That's how I make my money. So, but this is my outlet to talk about things I want to talk about, and hopefully teach people and educate people on things I think matter. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you very much. What name do you want to give?
My name is Gordini.
Gordini? Yeah. Okay. All right. So just talked to you a little bit earlier. You've been doing crypto for how long? Just about.
I first learned about it in 2013.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't really conceptualize exactly what it was going to become, but I definitely understood like digital money. I knew that we were kind of evolving into a digital age. I didn't start investing in Bitcoin until 2015, but I wanted to, and I definitely saw the writing on the wall yeah, so I've over the last 5 years, 6 years, I've really kind of dove in head first, just trying to accumulate as much knowledge. And,
Did you know about it in 2010?
No, I had no idea about it in 2010.
Okay. Hadn't heard anything about it.
Hadn't heard a word about it.
Okay.
Nothing.
So earlier you were telling me that there's some particular projects that you like. So are you focused on Bitcoin, or are you more focused on other projects?
So Bitcoin is what I consider to be the Trojan horse. I think that.
What does that mean?
Well, the Trojan horse, it's going to kind of bulldoze the way.
Okay.
And it has the most relevance, especially in terms of the mainstream.
Yeah.
You don't really hear mainstream media talking about altcoins. They might mention Ethereum every now and then, especially with like Grayscale, doing certain funds and different options for trading in the market. But Bitcoin is definitely what's most known. If you ask people about cryptocurrencies, I would say probably less than 90% of people could name a cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. And so that's where it's kind of paving the way. It's the Trojan horse.
Mm-hmm. So what's going to be the next thing?
Bitcoin is a store of value. Ethereum is programmable money. I do think that Ethereum has, in terms of where the world is headed, in terms of, digital assets. You look right now, I think I saw the other day that Ethereum is settling like $45 billion worth of transactions on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Whereas Bitcoin's doing something like around 15.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you think a lot of that? I think a lot of this is based on like NFTs and all the different side chains that are branched off of it. Yeah.
100%. The rise of NFTs has definitely added a lot to the congestion of Ethereum's Layer 1 network. And then also you look, there's I don't know the exact number, but I would probably say thousands of dApps that are built on top of Ethereum right now.
What's a DApp?
Decentralized application.
Okay.
So yeah, that's adding a lot of congestion on Layer 1, and that's why I was mentioning to you about Polygon, which their native token is called Matic. And what they do is they're able to take, a bunch of transactions that are occurring on Ethereum's Layer 1, move them off-chain into Layer 2, use an optimistic smart rollup, and then present, 100 transactions as just one block onto Ethereum's Layer 1. It's a really smart team, and I think that, undoubtedly, this industry is innovating so quickly that Ethereum is going to evolve, and Polygon is going to be on the forefront of that evolution and on the forefront of lowering these outrageous gas fees that we're currently seeing.
The gas fees, you mean like transaction fees on Ethereum?
Fees, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome, man. So that's where you think the future is going. What do you think about like the current price action on the crypto? Is it a buying opportunity or what?
I was saying the other day, all I see is opportunities. If you look at the resiliency of crypto over the last decade, you'll see, highs, you'll see ridiculous lows, you'll think that, this is done. This isn't going anywhere. And then boom, you'll have another resurgence. And I always say to people, look around you, look at what your children's kids are doing.
Yeah.
When I was 12, 10, 11 years old, I spent 5 to 10 minutes getting onto AOL.
Yeah.
Now the flow of information is instantaneous. And you've got to have different systems in place that keep up with the flow of information. And these kids, they understand technology so much better than we could have ever at their age because they've grown up amongst it.
Yeah.
And so if you try and take like a 10-year-old's mind and you fast forward 10 years to when they're 20 years old, we're talking 2031. The world is going to be a completely different place. We're going to be moving at a completely different speed. And you've got to have technology, you've got to have things that are moving with that speed, and I think that's what cryptocurrency is all about, right? It doesn't really faze me when we see.
So you're looking 10 years in the future.
That's the only way to look at it. I mean, look 10 years in the past, right? And look at how much has been done. Look at how many people have come to the forefront. And don't get me wrong, like there is a lot of shit in this, space, just like with the .com bubble. There's a lot of garbage that is out there, and you can get led astray real easily. But if you stick to, the fundamentals, if you stick to, these platforms, I don't like to refer to them as currencies because I think that takes away from what their mission is. But if you stick to, these platforms that have, really good market caps, that are in the top 10, top 20, top 30 even, you're going to find really good companies that are made up of really smart, intellectual people. And I think that's where I'm always going to put my money on.
Very well. All right, thanks, man.
The other thing I want to talk about is are you familiar with Thorchain?
No.
All right, so Thorchain.
Tell me about it.
Thorchain is an incredible platform. Its native token is called Rune, and what they've done is they've created these liquidity pools to where they bond tokens with their native token of Rune, so it's 3-to-1, and they'll have nodes that will authenticate and validate any transactions that are going on in the liquidity pools. In order to have a node, you have to have I think it was $15 million worth of Rune last week or something like that. So, so they're not going to devalue Rune because they've got so much of it, and that would devalue the network. So they authenticate every liquidity pool to where you're able to put coins in for people to get liquidity. And you're able to also borrow and take coins out. You're also able to do cross swapping through tokens a lot easier.
Yeah,
it's a super fascinating decentralized financial platform that I think is going to have a lot of validity in the years to come.
Okay, all right. Thanks, man.
You're the man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah. Make sure the camera's right. Alright. Just checking. Good. Alright. What's up?
What up?
What name do you want to give?
For myself?
Yeah. Handle or real. Either one.
Tidwell?
Sure. Well, you are the rock star around here.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I dressed as one.
Yes, you did. I like your t-shirt. It makes a statement.
For sure.
What does it say? This t-shirt is more decentralized than Ripple. Okay. What does that mean?
I don't really know. This is the first time I've ever worn a t-shirt or heard about Ripple. So I'm not really familiar with this too much. But I did have this t-shirt picked out for me for this interview.
Okay, yeah. You knew you were going to do this before you came.
Yeah.
You knew I was going to bring my laptop. Okay, wow.
I was dressed. They dressed me for this.
So
my associates and the producers dressed me for this.
Okay. Is there anything you want to shill?
So TapConf is officially in my head for 2021.
Okay.
It's going to happen 2021.
This year?
Because I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
This year.
Don't do that.
This year is 2021. So yes, this year.
Okay. All right. Cool. When?
Late 2021, but before Christmas, before Thanksgiving, all that kind of, it's going to be probably October-ish.
I'm definitely going to make some content out of your thing to help you promote it for sure, because it was fun when I went to it the last time.
Thanks, bro. And you always know there's not the ticket, sponsored. The shilledness there is pretty. The ratio of signal to noise is always good.
I happened to walk away from there with a far better understanding of Monero years ago by hearing one of the developers talk. Hopefully you can get one back, or maybe he was like a side developer, whatever. But I really got inspired by their conviction for what they were going for, along with other things too. But that really stuck out in my mind as well.
The Monero folks are what the Bitcoin folks should be.
I preaching the choir. I've been asking everybody this question, but what were you doing May the 22nd, Pizza Day, 2010? Did you know about Bitcoin?
the only time I've heard of Bitcoin in 2010 was maybe from NPR talking about people losing money on Bitcoin.
Well, were people losing money back then, or was it so low that you couldn't really lose money?
No, you could always lose money according to NPR. So they covered it in 2010, 2011, 2012, all with different stories of crashes. They essentially covered the crashes every year.
Yeah, the most exciting events. Yeah.
They covered only the crashes, and I always thought Bitcoin only goes down. I'm really glad I dodged that bullet.
Yeah. Okay. Does Bitcoin only go up?
It only goes down.
Only goes down.
Yes.
Okay. So So what do you think about it now? Is it a buying opportunity?
Yeah, no, I've had to think a bit about Bitcoin today, actually. I think Bitcoin is... So I thought of an idea where companies right now are in a really, really prime situation, especially if they're like Bitcoin companies or crypto companies, where they can essentially say, hey, every employee we hire right now, we can essentially allocate X amount of US dollar worth of Bitcoin for that employee. And the idea is that vests almost like a stock plan over 4 years kind of thing.
Just for the natural appreciation of Bitcoin?
Well, the idea here is the employee is, as you know, in the tech space, people quit, join companies. Yeah. It's hard to keep someone for more than 2 years.
So this is like a 401k plan because it's unique to you.
Well,
crypto is yours.
I wouldn't quite call it a 401k plan. I'd compare it more to like a stock option investment program that's realized every single quarter instead of stock options are only valuable if you sell the company or if you go IPO. Right?
Yeah.
So if you do a 4-year vesting period with Bitcoin and you allocate a certain amount of Bitcoin for that person, well, let's say Bitcoin goes up 100%, 200%, whatever it might be. Well, now you're like, well, hey, we're staying competitive with inflation. We're staying competitive with salary growth. And the employees can almost see this as like, hey, this is included in my salary. It gets paid out every 3 months. And it was a fixed cost for the company to do 4 years ago, and they pay that out, denominated in Bitcoin every, 3 months. Keeps the employee there for 4 years. I think it's just it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for Bitcoin, it's a win for the employee, it's a win for the company, because the company actualized expenses lower. The employee, Bitcoin, it's more, Bitcoin usage, and then it's...
What companies do this?
This is what I'm proposing.
Oh, so this is your idea.
This is what I've been thinking of.
So how are you going to put this out there to people? How are you going to get people to buy into it?
Well, this would be up to the company to implement for their employees. So this is also to help with competitive salary stuff as well.
I gotcha.
Right now, it's crazy. All the salaries for IT guys over this last year have all gone up like 20-25% for everybody, like whether it be product people, design people, DevOps, back-end engineers, front-end engineers.
This is the question I've been asking people when they complain about prices going up. Is it that the cost of hiring has gone up, or that your dollars buy less developer?
What's the difference?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, they want more of that fiat garbage. You got to find it somewhere. Yeah. And if you're not near the faucet of the printer, you have to figure out how to get to it.
But you're at the faucet. You work for something in the tech space, don't you? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess you could say people who get VC money are closer to the faucet.
Yeah.
But you are directly. I don't know. With all the STEMIs, the faucet goes really broad nowadays. See what I'm saying?
You think the STEMIs have driven crypto up?
I think it's trickle up economics.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like the opposite of George Bush.
No, it's
trickle
Reagan.
Down.
It's Reagan.
Reagan did the trickle down? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Reagan was trickle down. Now we're doing trickle up. So all the money's just, in my opinion, just being accumulated up instead of down. So
yeah.
For some reason, why is it? For some reason, money always accumulates towards the top. Why is that?
I think Jordan Peterson had things to say about that, about the creative distribution, like Pareto distributions, something to that effect.
Well, if Jordan Peterson said it,
yeah,
he's probably thought about it. I really find I disagree with Jordan Peterson.
Well, he doesn't do much with crypto. He probably took some donations though. So, all right. What else you got on your mind today?
Well, 2021 for Tab Comp
Yeah.
is going to be a hell of a venture for me to do, so that's going to be stressful. But I'm going to kind of plan it before Bitcoin 2021,
Yeah.
and then I think I want to see what I like and don't like about Bitcoin 2021, and then I'm going
And
to try
that's coming up 2 weeks, right?
It comes up in early June.
Well, it's 2 weekends from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You excited?
Dude, the company I'm with, Zebedee, where we have a whole esports arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole room
You're giving away how much?
over a Bitcoin.
Over a Bitcoin.
And this was when Bitcoin was like 65K. So,
So
now it's like
half as exciting?
it's only half of it exciting, yeah. So if Bitcoin goes back up to like 60K, I mean, we're giving over a Bitcoin away. So it's like, if you think about it, Jesus, it's like over the course of like a day or two, how do you give away over a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, everyone who comes in and wins a game, you get 2 million Satoshis. You get $600 worth of Bitcoin.
That's
$1,200 worth of Bitcoin.
I mean,
what do you do?
of all the problems and questions to have, how to give away money is probably one of the easier ones. I think that it will come to you. You don't have to convince people very hard to take your money. I've found it's not that hard.
Watch some of the early Bitcoin YouTube videos of 2012, 2013. Some of the people wouldn't take it. Remember?
Take what? Take Bitcoin? Oh, you try to give it to them?
Try to give
Yeah,
people.
there's like,
And
what is
people are
that?
like, I don't want it.
Now they take it.
No, they take it now.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right.
We'll go with Rock.
Rock. All right. So, Rock, so you have been looking at crypto for how long now? Like, since when? When did you first hear about it?
I'm a beginner. I first heard about crypto in about 2012, 2013, somewhere around there.
Okay, so around 2010, when we first had that pizza event, you had never heard about it.
Never heard about it.
Okay, so in 2012 you heard about it. What did you think?
I thought it was an interesting idea,
Uh-huh.
an interesting way to potentially make or generate revenue,
Mm-hmm.
and it just had a tremendous upside.
So why aren't you a crypto millionaire now?
I haven't really, honestly, I really haven't taken it seriously.
Okay.
It's
So
something I think about from time to time, but
yeah,
not
well, I
really.
mean, hindsight's 2020.
Right.
So if it was if you liked it back then, what's the difference now?
I would say the times
Okay.
that we're in, I would say that they're more interesting. The times that we're in now are more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more uncertainty. And so now I would say I'm more open and receptive to this investment vehicle and potentially taking the next step and moving forward.
Okay.
And just seeing what happens. I mean, you can't. There's no chance of winning lottery if you don't play.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
I mean, hey,
That's true.
If you don't do something different, nothing different can happen.
So are you just focused on Bitcoin, or are you looking at other cryptocurrencies and stuff like that?
I would say just open to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sensing the ones that has the major potential, and basically going from there. Somebody's helping me get started.
Mm-hmm.
Because with this investment vehicle, it's good to, if you can, it's good to for somebody to help get you started,
Mm-hmm.
instead of you trying to figure out things on your own.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much you have to invest, okay, they help you invest. You got $100? Okay, let's invest it.
Yeah.
You got $500, $1,000, let's invest it. I mean, whatever you have, being open and honest and say, hey, look, I want you to help me invest this into this investment vehicle.
Yeah.
Would you mind doing that? Just taking the time,
I hear you. I hear you.
I
Yeah.
mean, again, starting somewhere. I mean, everybody had to start somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody becomes virtual millionaire overnight.
That's true. How long do you think it takes though? Like it takes the crypto. People they've seen it when it was back in 2012, where it was probably, I don't know what it was back then, but a lot less than it was now. So that was 9 years ago. If you had have bought $1,000 worth back then, you'd be quite wealthy now. So it takes a while. So going into the future, what are your expectations about Bitcoin? What do you think it's going to do? Yeah.
I think it'll gradually grow up.
I think it'll gradually be productive. 100K, I'm hopeful that it'll hit that figure. A time frame that it'll hit that figure. I would say right now, a year or two is realistic. I mean, you know, you have to give things a chance. You know, nothing happens just overnight. And, you know, you gotta, and I talked about this a few times, and I'm mentioning this for the first time on this, you know, podcast. It's real important to, since the times that you're in.
Okay, what do you mean by that? What are the times?
Getting a good feel for when you should hold, when you should sell, when you should buy. I think that's very important. Some people have that gift naturally, and they become millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires on up. But it's a very small percentage of people that have that great sense of investing as far as when to buy, hold, and sell.
You know, it makes me think of that song, The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and so to be honest with you, I'm looking to master that skill, because that's a special skill or trait to have. Knowing when to get in and out of things, I think that's very important. So that way you lose very little to none of your revenue or money. I think that's very important.
Well, I think that when I'm talking to people about trading and investing, I say the rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, refer back to 1. So how to do that, that's of course the challenge.
Yeah, that's the whole key. And like I was saying, people that have mastered that, hopefully one day I can connect with 1 or 2 of those people, and they can kind of share with me how they develop that special trait, because that's a special trait to have.
So what's your expectation, though, from somebody that knows how to do that? Is it that they don't lose any money, or that they control their losses? What do you think that person looks like?
I think the latter, a person that controls their money.
Okay, yes, I would agree with you.
Right,
yes.
Somebody that controls their money and only puts a certain amount into any vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody may, regardless of the market, they may put 100,000 to 250,000 in cryptocurrency and no more than that.
Right.
Just to see how that goes. And regardless of where they are revenue-wise, and obviously for you to put that kind of money into an investment vehicle, it's safe to say you have to be a millionaire on up. You know, millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire.
Well, not everybody's a millionaire. So what would a person just starting? What do you think they should do? What would you do if you were just starting? Well, you are just starting. What's your play on it?
That sounds like German engineering.
Well, I would start out with, let's say, more than likely somewhere between $1 to $2 grand.
Okay. Would you maybe want to base that on like a percentage of what you have in other things, or just a straight number?
Now, as far as using 100% as an example, in cryptocurrency, I wouldn't put no more, including Bitcoin, of course, I wouldn't put no more than, let's say, 10 to 25% in cryptocurrency as a whole, or in general.
10 to 25, yeah, okay.
That's it, no more than that. No more, regardless of whether it's doing real bad or doing real good.
And that's because,
no more than that.
And why just that amount? Why would you keep it limited like that?
Well, the reason why is because of the unknown. Uncertainty.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So it's important to govern and prepare yourself accordingly.
Let me tell you something about you, just from talking to you. You know, you're seeking somebody to tell you how to be successful at trading and investing. I'll tell you right now that you already have the skills beyond a lot of people that just get started trading. I think it comes from a little maturity. You know, I know that, you know, you're not 20 years old. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but you could be maybe about 25, 26, you know. But the fact that you're able to be conscious of your risk controls, and the fact that you're willing to accept that you don't know the future, that puts you actually, believe it or not, way ahead of a lot of people that just get into it. Because what they get into it is they think they need to put everything they own into it because they want to be rich in a month, but they don't, and they're not conscious of risk. and they are way too overconfident in the future. They read about something that they are really believe in, and it can't go wrong. And but no, believe it or not, you already have some of the skills in yourself. I'll tell you right now, you're already many years ahead of a lot of people. So I think you're going to do just fine. Just with those tenets, right? Those are actually, in my opinion, the most important things. But then all the technical analysis stuff, like the picking the bottoms and the lows, that's all just fluff. I mean, that helps you make a decision in the moment.
It does.
But what you talked about is actually the most important thing. So you already know.
Right. Well, but I still have a long way to go, and I'll leave it at that.
Everybody has a long way to go. I don't want to stop learning until I die.
Yeah, because see, the key to learning is unlearning.
Yeah, you do develop bad habits. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You have to unlearn some things to effectively learn some important things. And it's insanity, obviously, to do the same things, hoping, praying, etc. for a different result. That's not happening, guys. If you do things the same way, you're going to get the same result. That's it. I mean, I don't care what it is. If you do things the same way, you're going to get the same result. And everybody, regardless of male or female or background, etc., should have a minimum of 5 streams of income. And I strongly believe that. They should have 5 streams, minimum. Because life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. And when it happens, if you don't have enough things to keep you and sustain you, then that's where the problem comes in. Because you didn't govern and plan accordingly.
Yeah.
The majority of people's plan A and letter A and number 1 is their current job or career, their occupation.
Yeah.
But do you have 4 other things beside that when a storm comes?
That's a good thing to have. You got any other final thoughts?
No, not at the present time.
Okay. All
This
right.
has been very helpful. And
That was good to talk to you, yeah.
hopefully I've enlightened some people and helped some people. And, like I say, the sky's the limit. But in order for the sky to truly be the limit, one can't continue to do the same things over and over again.
So change up.
They have to change up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.